Hey, I'm NichBoy and welcome to Pocket for Tuesday, the 16th of February. Today on the show, Necro Dancers, sequels to bad games, and returns of good ones. Alright, here's what's been making headlines. The nominees for the 14th Annual Game Audio Network Guild Awards have been announced. The awards aim to recognize the top audio engineers, directors, producers, and sound designers in the games industry. This year, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Star Wars Battlefront are the top runners with nominations in a bunch of categories. The winners will be drawn on the 17th of March, and you can see a full list of categories and nominees in the description. Now, I'm sorry to inform you all, but it looks like there could be a sequel to Knack. Thankfully, this is just rumored at the moment, as this information has been drawn from the resume of Taiwanese 3D animator Mindy Liang. Liang has listed that she has been developing character motions and cutscenes for Knack 2 on the PS4 since March of 2015. But we all lie, right, on our resume? Mindy? Huh? Now, look, just to be clear, there's no official evidence, and just because she may have worked on something in the past doesn't mean that since then the studio hasn't come to their senses and, for the love of all that is holy, cancelled development. But in more pleasant sequel news, Dark Souls 3 will be launching on Xbox One with a free copy of the original Dark Souls. A marketplace posting revealed that for a limited time after launch, those who buy the game on Xbox One will be sent a code to download Dark Souls within 10 working days from the purchase. This indicates that Dark Souls 1 will be joining the ranks as an Xbox One backwards compatible title very soon. And Activision has laid off some of its staff after weak performances from Guitar Hero and Skylanders. Activision revealed to Game Informer that layoffs did take place, however they were reluctant to reveal the extent of the changes. It's likely we will hear more in the coming days. And in the most important news you will hear today, Good Game of course returns tonight on ABC2, but more on that after Thing of the Day. Thing of the Day. And Undying has found his groove in a new music video by VGAM FVG. Yeah, dance you little rotten thing. Dance until you all fall off. Thing of the Day. I'm joined now by Bajo and Hex from TV's Good Game. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Now, first of all, let's talk about this promo that we shot together. In terms of promos for television shows, the greatest or just okay?
It was pretty cool.
It turned out pretty well.
The coolest thing about promos is that it comes from a different budget, so they have things like catering.
Yeah.
Food.
That's.
I packed my lunch and brought like a breakfast muffin and turned up, and they were like, egg McMuffin, and I was like, oh, it's like real TV.
That is so true. My call time was a bit later than yours. You guys started before me, and when I turned up, all the food, makeup artists sitting there doing my makeup, a costume person
on set,
a sound guy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So professional.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I think it turned out really well.
Yeah.
Even though you guys shot all your weird demony giant masked hooded things before me, so I had no idea what that looked like, and then I saw it on the promo. I got scared.
We looked bigger than
did
I
look
remember.
bigger. Yeah.
On the day.
Yeah.
We were quite massive.
The funny thing is, often as well, we kind of turn up to these things and don't really know what's happening. So I'm just like, why am I wearing this?
Yeah.
Shh, just stand over there.
And I also liked how all of your voices sounded exactly the same.
Yeah.
And
We all went to the same demon school.
Yeah. And when I shot my stuff, because you guys were so big, I spent the whole promo, except for the wide shot where I walk in, on my knees. Like I'm on a little purple pillow, looking up at a big light that's shining in my face, and I was like, okay, so which one's Bajo, which one's Hex? And they were like, okay, so the hook there, that's Bajo, the light is Hex, and then Goose is that sandbag off in the distance.
And that's how television is made.
There you go.
It's nice for us to have a cool promo though, because quite often, people sort of still come from places where they're not gamers and they don't really understand how to promote a show about video games.
Yeah.
So when we're not doing something ourselves and it's up to a different promotional team, often it's been like, just get some controllers and look like you're having heaps of fun.
That's the classic
no
shot,
one
isn't
plays
it?
like this.
Yeah.
The amount of
Absolutely.
promo photos I've had to take of me being like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, even in this one, I had to hold out the control, and the guy was like, "Okay, can you just turn around and sort of hold it up upside down?" I was like, "That's not how I would hold it." He was like, it doesn't matter how you would hold a control. It's not about the controller, Nick. Now we're also coming back. You guys are coming back tonight.
Yes.
An hour-long special. but the show's changed a little bit. Do you want to talk me through some of the changes?
Yeah, well, we have a few new segments. Goose has a new segment
Mm-hmm.
called IMO, where Goose has an opinion about something,
Which
and
he
then
does.
he tells us about
And
it.
He does
loves-
often.
yeah.
He loves.
He is
loves
well
to
experienced
chat.
in doing
Loves to
this.
chat.
We are actually going to get him on the show on Pocket each Wednesday. So people are going to be submitting their feedback to him overnight, and then we'll be talking through the feedback from you guys with Goose on the show.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, so more chance for more Goose opinion.
Yeah, his opinion on other people's opinion of his opinion.
He cannot be silenced. And then I'm also on the show this year.
Yes, welcome back to television.
Thank you very much for having me.
Do you feel like you're kind of betraying your core internet followers by joining TV Land, or do you feel like you have you bridge the gap?
Well, I mean, I will leave you behind in a heartbeat. I'm just gonna put that out there. But I don't think I am betraying it because it's literally what we do for the show is then being put on television. Like the first look is what I've been doing for the last year anyway. It's playing. I think they call it playing to your strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yes.
are authentically yourself
Yes.
as always. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
thank you very much. I'm thrilled. I'm really looking forward to it. And then the other thing that you've got in the show will be some round table chats.
Yeah, we're trying to have more like discussion-based stuff on little games that may not warrant a massive review, or for some reason it's not worth reviewing it. So maybe it's like an expansion for an MMO, something like that. We just want to get around and just chat about it and dissect it.
And it's nice to be able to work a bit of that in because the reviews that we do for Good Game are highly produced because we want to be able to cover all of the content in the game and review it really critically and review it well, and also show all of the footage. And so we would never want to give that up, but it gives us an opportunity to have a more kind of just natural, off-the-cuff discussion about games, which I think is a nice balance.
Yeah, and you can be a bit more reactionary to things that happen that don't, like you said, don't deserve this giant deep dive, but like a mention.
But then we can still craft the awesome montages and beautiful reviews and things like that we love to do as well, which is nice.
Also, we can bring in experts, so we've got like a competitive game. We could bring hingers in for that,
That's
and
right,
get that kind of opinion. Or what kind of games do you like? What do you play? What are you into? Dota. If we've
got
got a Dota game.
Do you want to talk
bring
about
you in.
Dota?
If
Do you want
we
to talk
just
to someone
about
who's
Dota?
not good at Dota? you call me up. And so, like, broadly speaking, I mean, a lot of this is quite a big change to the show. What sort of brought it on? Because the show's been sort of quite similar for a few years, and then this was at the beginning of, or at the end of last year, really, before this happened. Ben, the director, was sort of really pushing for wanting to change some stuff up, and was it just time?
I don't think it's ever wise to rest on your laurels and just there's this kind of idea of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but I don't think that's necessarily always the best course of action.
That's how things rust.
Yeah, that's right. And so we obviously we were keeping a lot of the show still the same, the things that work and stuff like that. But we have, I've been on the show for 6 years now, and so it's exciting for me personally, and what keeps me excited about coming back to work is that we're always looking to improve it and make it better and see how that we can kind of involve the audience more with some of this discussion and feedback stuff. Especially because it's so much easier now to get that feedback from people and respond to it.
And it's also such a vocal community, and particularly the Good Game one. I know I found over the past year that the gaming community is obviously super vocal, and a lot of them are really awful. But a lot of those awful people don't come across to the Good Game audience, and they do seem to be a really solid. And I'm not just pandering to you because please watch the shows. But it is, they do seem to have informed opinion and want to get involved in the discussion. So.
It's always been like that, in the day where we had those forums and we trawl through those forums every night and try and respond to everyone we can, and that kind of evolved into like Facebook groups, and then we used to even jump on IRC, and all that evolves over time, and it's always been such a warm, fun community who just love games, and that's what we want for the show. We want to be a celebration of games, we want to really just enjoy this wonderful medium that is growing and becoming, it's the renaissance of art and combined, and let's enjoy it.
All right, so I haven't seen tonight's episode, but it is an hour-long one. What's on it?
On our roundtable discussion, we're going to be looking at games that we played over the break. Goose had a look at Darkest Dungeon. I played Assassin's Creed Chronicles India, and Bajo played Dragon's Dogma, which recently came out on PC. Awesome game.
Cool.
Also, XCOM 2, full review of XCOM 2, and The Witness, and That Dragon Cancer. Very different games.
Yeah, that's quite an eclectic group of games. And then Goose has his IMO on trademarking game terms. He's also doing a story on the Indie Arcade in Melbourne, and I take a first look at The Division beta. So that's all at 8:30 on ABC2. Please watch. We crave your attention. And that's it for today's episode of Pocket. My Pocketeers, please let us know in the comments, talk through suggestions for later in the week. And while you're there, check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and iView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers? Then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at GoodGameTV, follow Pocket at NichBoy, at Pierreth, at GGEditMonkey. You'll find these lovely folk at BudgetPants and at HexSteph. There are links to everything I just said in the description below. Today's Thing of the Day graphic was made by Dan Clark. Say thank you to Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Good job.
If you've made a thing, please send it in. Until tomorrow, NichBoy out.
Hex out.
Well,
Watch Good Game.
Never do this. Why would I do that?
Why would you do that?
Because you did it.
It's peer pressure.
Yeah.
it's pocket pressure.
Pocket pressure.